So most of you who've sort of old timers here know that usually I get up and I tell some story about some stupid thing I did when I was young, and I'm trying to be funny with varying degrees of success. Those of you who are here probably for the first time last month are sitting there going, oh God, it's that guy who was talking about fisting cows. But I assure you that my range is well beyond perversion of livestock. I guess each of us is a patchwork of the peoples whose lives touch ours. And tonight I'd like to share with you a little patch on my quilt that's an example of how not to care, how to fail at the art of caring. I've told this story before in a somewhat different form, but I felt a reworking of it was apropos for tonight. Did everybody hear me?
Yeah.
It's been over a year now that I saw on social media that a friend of mine from high school had passed away of a heart attack. And it hit me hard, and I didn't know why at first that it was bothering me so much. I was like, we were really good friends once, but we were very close, we drifted apart, and I hadn't talked to her 35 years. I don't know what was bothering me so much until I gave some thought to what happened. I was far from a popular kid in high school. I suffer, as I still do to some degree, from crippling anxiety. And I was the brainy, weird kid, not a lot of friends, which made me the perfect target for this girl that sat behind me in English class. Not that she was popular. She was very unpopular in her own way. She was a little weird. She was, as Southerners do, trying to put a nice spin on it. She was a big girl, and she was a bit of a bully. And she started lighting into me in English class, and I just had it. So I started just giving it back as hard as I got it, and that left her a little nonplussed. I don't think she did anybody stand up to her before. Usually people respond by just getting away from her. But given that 80s teen movies are documentaries, not fiction, we all know what happened next. One montage and a catchy song later, we were quite good friends. We hung out together. I mean, it was a friendship. There was nothing romantic, or I had any conception of what that meant at the time. She had a tough life. It was just her and her mother. The father situation wasn't good. And then she got pregnant, which in the early 80s in small Hawkinsville, Georgia, had a great deal of stigma attached to it. And then she and the boyfriend broke up. He apparently wasn't ready to be a father, so he tried to give her a redneck abortion. He tried to run her over in a parking lot with his truck. But, I was the only friend she had that kind of stood by her during her pregnancy, and when the baby was born, it was a cute baby. It just was. I'd go over and I'd visit with her, and I'd hang out with her and the baby. And then something happened. A couple of the popular kids started paying attention to me. Now let me tell you, you always think in the movie trope, I suppose, is the weird kid who is defined happy in his weirdness and doesn't care. But that's bullshit. If you were unpopular in high school, then you desperately want to be with the cool kids. Mm-hmm. So I got a chance to kind of be on the periphery of that. On reflection later, I was never going to make it with that crowd. It's not going to be a thing. But they gave me a little glimpse of that life. And they made fun of my relationship with my friend. And they gave me shit about it all the time. So I dropped her. Just walked away. Only friend she had, but I just walked away. And she didn't even throw me the bone of being a bitch about it. She was like, I get it. I get it. It's cool. I get it. And what I thought was, sort of giving me her blessing. I realized later when I was much older, what she was saying was, and this is what men do, so go. I was a terrible friend when I was as a 17-year-old boy, and there is no one more enamored with their own victimhood than a 17-year-old boy. I had a right to friends, right? I had a right to be cool. I didn't owe her anything other than to live up to the implied promise that a friendship is. So that's how to fail. That's how to fail. And I think I've grown so much beyond that, but y'all may have noticed something I noticed in preparing the story is not once that I mentioned her name. Because that gives me a little distance from it, right? It's an intellectual exercise. But for what it's worth, Angela, I'm sorry. But sometimes time goes by and it's too late for sorry.